In the last videos, we learned about the design of computer programs in artificial intelligence as rational agents. And then we talked about supervised learning, which requires labeled training data that associates inputs to outputs. And now, I'm assuming there is such a thing as unsupervised learning.
Yes, you're exactly right. In unsupervised learning, the agent is designed to identify patterns in the input data without being given any explicit feedback on how inputs relate to each other. One of the most common tasks in unsupervised learning is called clustering, the identification of potentially related clusters of input data. Let's use animals again as an example. In an unsupervised learning task, an agent is presented with millions of images of animals from the internet without any training on how they relate to each other. With enough input data, the program would learn to cluster different types of animals together and would put them into categories such as cats, dogs, squirrels, etc.
But how would it know what a dog or a cat is if you didn't give it that information?
Let's say the training data includes a website about cats and about dogs. With enough data, the agent would learn which types of animals are typically called cats or dogs, etc.
That means you would have to provide lots of websites and images of animals. And you wouldn't label the data at all, right? It would just be raw data. So how would it learn, given the information?
The details of how an unsupervised learning agent works are beyond the scope of this video, as the description would require a lot of details and theoretical concepts. But as a general overview, the agent would be designed to create a learned probability model, a mathematical representation of what the likely relationships would be.
How did we go from talking about animals to talking about math and probability?
Artificial intelligence programs designed with unsupervised learning models essentially convert the data into mathematical representations and then apply calculations to determine how the data is related. Even though the data is collected as images and the output is the identification of different animals, the data is converted into a mathematical model to find a solution.
So at some level, it's basically all math.
At a core level, it is all just ones and zeros, but yes, it can also be considered as just math, or operations involving numbers.